What's going on, guys? Today we're talking GOAT fullbacks of this century. So the top 15 fullbacks since the year 2000. Now, I absolutely love this because I don't really like comparing eras. I don't like comparing players I've watched play compared to just watching replays and stuff. And like most people my age, we weren't really old enough to watch footy games in the 90s sort of thing. So I started obviously watching a lot of footy around 2000, so should know most of these players. And Zero Tackle have put this one together. So let's have little look-sies and see their list and see who they have as the GOAT. I'm pretty sure I know who it's going to be. But let me know as well, guys, if you agree with this list at all, and if you'd move anyone around. But I'm pumped for this one because, damn, we've had some good fullbacks over the last 20 years. All right, 15, Ben Barber. That's low, man. All right, Benny Barber obviously didn't have an illustrious long career, but I think his Dally M year was probably the best season I've ever seen from a fullback. And there's probably one other case to be made there. And I don't see how he can be 15. He's got to be higher than that. But like I said, he only really had 2, maybe 3 years at the absolute top. But yeah, I'm telling you, that Dally M year, I'd never seen anything like it. That was magic. Luke Patton, the general. Absolutely love Luke Patton. I don't know if he ever did end up playing State of Origin or anything, but I remember he was known as the best player to never play rep footy. He was an absolute gun. He stepped up every single week, but just never got the nod for fullback for rep footy. So I don't know if that changed very late in his career, but yeah, we'll just say he hasn't for argument's sake. Next one, Clint Schikowski. I do remember him. He would have been early 2000s, Canberra, I believe. I think he played a few games at fullback for Queensland. Similar to Luke Patton, I believe, just really solid, nothing special, like not a, you know what I mean, a Billy Slater or anything like that. But yes, solid player. But yeah, to make the top 13, damn, I wonder who I'm actually more interested to see who they've left off this list. But yeah, solid player. Right, next, Brett Hodgson. I'm not going to lie, I was watching Para games back then. I never really rated this dude super highly. I think he was a little bit lucky. He played Origin. He famously got dragged over the sideline there. I believe if you dropped him in today's game, I don't think you'd get a run at it. I honestly don't think you'd crack first grade. I know that sounds harsh, but I think the fullback reins were a little bit thinner back then, and yeah, he was good, but you know what I mean. I don't know. I think there's probably better fullbacks in this game today. That aren't really talked about as great players. That would probably take his spot at the Eels back then, if that makes sense. Next one, Tulvasek. Absolute gun, absolute love him, dynamic, can step sideways better than anyone, and just an absolute magician. And loved watching him play. Rumours he's coming back as well, guys. Next, Reece Wesser. Legend, absolute legend. He was so fast, man. And it was funny. My dad always said really quick people can run fast on sand. And I remember back in the day, they did these charity match things and they were playing on sand. And he was just on another level. He was so much faster than everyone in these beach footy games. And he was so quick and such a gun player for the Penrith. Darius Boyd, 6th? Okay. All right. I'd have Ben Barber over Darius Boyd any day of the week. Solid player, solid career over multiple clubs, multiple premiership winner. But, yeah, I don't know. Good ball player. Worst interviewer of all time. Most boring person on earth. But he was solid. But I'd probably have to... I'd probably almost drop Tui ahead of him, Reece ahead of him, Barber ahead of him. But yeah, anyway, there you go. Greg Inglis, 8th. Come on, man. All right, so the only reason G High isn't high on this list is he only played a limited amount of his career at the number 1. That's fair. He didn't play a whole heap of footy at fullback, but undefendable. Completely undefendable in whatever position he played. Just about could have got a Dally M Player of the Year award in any position he played. So 5'8", I believe he got one at 5'8", centre and fullback. to me, he's the GOAT. I've never seen anyone better lace him up than GI. And that I'm from New South Wales. So that's saying something. Teddy Tedesco's 7th? Wow. Okay, who's ahead of him? Because, wow, these guys are pretty low on this list. I would have put both these guys up top 5 for sure. All right, let's go. Darren Lockyer. Okay, Darren Lockyer was an amazing fullback. I still remember him, like nightmares of him getting the ball out the back and just throwing the most flawless cutout balls to the wingers. Absolute magician. Darren Lockyer is, he's one of the best to ever do it as well, man. But I can't really argue with that. That's about right. He's one of the best players to ever do it. But if you want to go just on fullback status, 6 probably about right. Matty Bowen. Okay. All right, I've got to have Tedesco above Matty Bowen, I'm sorry. Love Matty Bowen, got a pair of his boots. He's absolute legend of the game. But, yeah, I think Teddy's got him for sure. That's I couldn't put Matt Bowen ahead of Teddy. Anthony Minicello, okay. I love the count as well. Probably would have played 400 games, had a ton of injury problems. And but he just came back, you know what I mean, when, you know, he probably shouldn't have, and just was so good. He's absolutely amazing. So, love him, but again, I'd probably put Teddy above him too. Teddy's been so good for so long. Absolutely. Really admire what Teddy's been doing lately. So, let's go. What could number 3 be? Brett Stewart. Okay, yeah. People don't realise how good Brett Stewart was, and he had some injury problems as well, and some other off-field stuff too. But he was just like you hear people talk about him in juniors. Like I remember hearing who's the Bono's Bono's best guy. I can't remember his name. Bo, obviously. Apparently he went games without being tackled sometimes. He'd either score a try or set up someone to score a try every time he got the ball. Like, he was just like literally untackleable. And he was absolutely amazing. And through that really, I reckon you could probably almost call that Manly little window there a dynasty. He was, like I said, that he was the Prince of Brookvale, man. He was absolutely amazing. So there's only 2 spots left, and we haven't had Turbo in here. We haven't had Billy, and we haven't had Jared Hayne. So someone's missing out on this list out of those 3. Who could it be? Let's go. Jared Hayne, number 2. Yeah, I think it depends who number 1 is. But Jared Hayne, to me, is definitely the second best fullback. Argument for best. But to me, comparing him to Billy Slater's career, just for example, again, Billy did it better for a longer period of time. But Jared Hayne's Dally M performance year was just like, you go watch those highlights. He was unbelievable in a terrible team. He was in that Parramatta team sucked, man. Like, they were bad. They were awful. He took them to a grand final. They only lost by a cheating Melbourne team by 6 or 8 points, and that Melbourne team was like 3 mil over the cap. You know what I'm saying? And they had. I don't know they had all these players, but I'm pretty sure Israel Folau, Greg Inglis, Cooper Cronk, Billy Slater in the same team. It was absolutely nuts. Absolutely. Oh, I forgot Cam Smith as well. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But that 4 or 5 years, he probably was. I think Dally M year, he was 100% better than Billy. He probably was a little bit better than Billy over that 3-year period, but Billy just did it for so long. He was so good for so long, sort of thing, and that's why I think he's going to be number 1. And yeah, who else? Billy Slater. Even though I personally like Jared Hayne better, I couldn't argue with someone if they were going to say that Billy was the best. He was just so passionate, so, you know, he just left it all out there. Never left a skerrick in the gas tank. He was just worked so hard on and off the ball. He was amazing, man. So yeah, I could not argue with that at all. But damn, Turbo not on here. I guess they say availability is the best asset you can possibly have, and if what's he played 15, 16 games in 2 years or something like that, or whatever it may be. But let's just say he did play all the games. I probably would have to I'm putting him ahead of most of these players. put him ahead of Tui. I put him ahead of Dar. You'd have to put Turbo in around eighth-ish sort of thing, 6th, 7th, 8th, because Turbo's Daliemia as well was. It probably goes Jared, Ben Barber, and Turbo as far as Daliem years go. Those 3 years were just absolutely out of this world. So crazy, but real cool list, guys. Congratulations to the Zero Tackle team. That's a real great list and good banter, good chat. But yeah, man, I can't argue. We put a little goat mask on Billy Slater here because he did it at a super high level for 20 years, man. Absolute goat. It was a privilege to watch him play for so long. But thank you all so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.